Ryan Knights here with Extreme Vision Reviews. Check out what I got here. Got me a Hubsan H107C. This is the 107C. They do got different versions of this one. Of course, I got the black and red. They got a green and black, and then they got what they call a red and silver, but it looks more like a copper and silver. But this thing is really a complex drone. Well, the remote is anyway. You can select it from mode 1 or mode 2, which to the new guys, mode 1 is this, your right stick is your throttle. Mode 2 is your left stick, which most, especially in Northern America, USA, we're used to left throttle. But you can switch it. This does have a normal and expert mode. Normal mode is just straight out flying, no flips, nothing like that. Expert, you hit this button, you just click down on it, and it'll initiate the flips. Also, it picks up the performance, like speed and all that. I haven't gotten into all that yet. I've only been flying it and checking it out. So I've been staying in normal mode. Of course, I'm in mode 2. I do want to try out mode 1 just for crap of it, When you do get this, when you open the box, make sure when you pull the plastic out, you look on the back side. The protective frame is on the back taped to it. There is only one way this thing goes. If you put it upside down, it'll hit the blades, and you can tell. You see how these come down? You don't want to reverse that because it does go over the motor and cover the motor, and it allows for space between this and the propeller. But you have to take the propellers off and then put it on, and then make sure you put the propellers on right. It does say right here. See if I can get, if you can actually see it or not, but it'll tell you right there, it'll say A or B, and you want to match the propeller up to that, and then of course it's crisscross, A, B, B, just like that. This is a camera drone. It's a 480p, 720 or 1080. Now, with that being said, for 480, it's probably one of the best 480p cameras I've ever messed with. I mean, of any of them. This thing is awesome picture, awesome video. It is got, it's a little slow moving, but the quality is great. Also, when you do get this, you have to set the remote up before you even do anything with the drone. Like to go to mode 2, like I do, it'll tell you how to do all this in the book, but you gotta hold these two up, turn it on, and then spin it like this, and then make sure you bring that back down. Then that right there will start flashing red. When that starts flashing red, it's set. Then you plug your drone in, the lights will flash, the red ones will turn on first, will go solid. That means you have connection with the controller. When the blue ones go solid, it means it's ready to fly. And what that means is setting it down level, and once it's on a level surface, it'll level itself out to it automatically adjusts the rudder trim by itself. So when the blue lights stop flashing, it's ready to fly, and that means you should not have to adjust the rudder. Just a couple of times I've had to do it, but it depends on where you're at. Not everybody's on exact level ground. Like my driveway's got a slope to it, so when it checks that, it senses that is level. So when it gets in the air, it's not going to fly straight. So no matter what I do, I have to adjust the trim. When you do get this, of course, it's 3.7 volt. It's 380 milliamp battery. This, you get regular 3.7 charger. You got the tool to pry the propellers off, and I do recommend using it because I'm used to being able to just pull them off on these style, the ones that don't have screws. I went to pull one and the motor went to come out with it, so definitely use this tool. And it's simple. You just get the open end and you stick it under there and just push up, and then bingo, easy. It doesn't take much. You ain't got to pull all the weight on it. And then you take the other end to push down on them to make sure they're in. Now, don't have speed settings. The speed settings are adjusted from normal and expert mode. It's not FPV either, which kind of sucks, because if this was FPV, there would be nothing out there for the price that can compete with this. It's got a little slot right here. You put your memory card in. When you turn it on, there's this little button right here. You got to press that button in, and then you'll have this little red light back here that will start flashing. When it starts flashing, it is recording. Now, that being said, before you turn the drone off, which unplug it, you have to hit that button again to save the video. If you unplug it before hitting that button, the video will not save. So make sure you hit that button. If you turn it on, make sure you turn it back off before you turn the drone off. This thing is amazing. I mean, I love it. It's got weight to it. I mean, it's not. I mean, you can get these for $30, and you would think, man, that's crazy. You know, that's cheap. You know, usually you pay for what you get. Well, this thing is, I will say, is well worth more than that. You would think something that like this was probably at least $100 drone, but you can get them for $30. I mean, the quality, it feels sturdy. What I like is the legs have giveaways, where if you bump it hard enough, instead of the leg breaking like most of the cheaper plastic ones do, it separates right here and this pops out, and then all you gotta do is just press down on it, clip it back in, it's ready to go. That's an awesome feature. You know, it absorbs the impact to where you do not break something. Now, granted, of course, if you hit something hard enough, you're going to break it. But at least they're trying to make it somewhat where you don't damage it as bad. Or you can take more of a hit than normal. And what I'll do is, let me get some of this stuff cleared off the table here. I'll take it for a little spin real quick. So yeah, I'll check this thing out. Now see, I've already had this set to mode 2. So once you got it set to the mode, you don't have to do it again, the whole setup thing. That's only if you want to switch modes. You can do a lot more with it, as far as like reversing the rudder or reversing the accelerator. You can do a lot of stuff with this, with the remote. You can even turn the lights on and off, which is simple. So as I say, it's got a lot of cool features for it. You know, it's not a whole lot, but it's, for the price, I mean, you can't beat it. Turn it on, and then of course you got your red light flashing. And then you take this and you plug it in, like so. Then of course, it's in the beep was the controller linking to this. Now I have a green light on the controller, which means it's linked. But see how the blue lights are still flashing. Well, till you set down, now it's evened out. This button right here, you hold it down for 2 seconds, turns them right off. Now let's see if I can get some air time with it real quick. Now this does not have auto hover, so you gotta work with it a little bit. But once you get used to it, you can pretty much get it hovering. And there she goes. Crash. But it wasn't hard enough to actually do any damage. But like I said, once you get used to it, you can pretty much get it to almost get it over. On back over here. Whoa. Yeah, I hit the camera. It gets a little tricky to operate. And of course it took a little slam, but still didn't do nothing. Make sure it'll still go up in the air. Okay, we're still good. Alright, and of course I wasn't videoing, but I'll show y'all the, see how it's got that blue light? That means it's ready. And you hit that little button there. You see that little red light flashing? That means it's recording. And then you hit it again, and it stops. That's how you know if it's recording or not. And we'll turn all this off. But I will say, for the price, you can't beat it. I mean, this thing is just great. If you turn the lights off, don't use the video, you can get about 7, maybe 8 minutes of flight time out of it. If you're using the lights and the video, you're going to get about 5 or 6 minutes of flight out of it. It takes probably about 40-45 minutes for it to charge, and you're ready to go again. I said, this thing is, I just can't, I'm just mind boggled by it, because this company has actually put out a very nice quality drone for very cheap. I don't recommend it for a beginner. If you are a beginner and get into this, if you figure this thing out and can fly, you can just fly about anything. But this is more of a intermediate to advanced, especially when you go into expert mode. Like I said, I hadn't even tried expert mode out yet because I want to still get used to it before I attempt it. Definitely don't want to crash it. Granted, it's still cheap. It's cheap. It's simple to fix. I mean, they got a whole page that shows you how to take it apart. Gives you a parts list. I mean, they even have a crash kit that you can buy that comes with everything, and even throws in a t-shirt. I mean, it's crazy. So yes, I do recommend this for intermediate and advanced. As far as beginners go, I don't recommend it, but if you do, definitely read the instructions, definitely follow them, and definitely keep it in normal mode till you get, you know, the controls down. Then go more into the, you know, try out the expert mode. I said, if you're wanting to do flips and stuff, you try to jump into that, chance of you destroying this drone are pretty high. It'd be different if it had auto hover. Then it'd be a little bit easier to control, but it doesn't. The throttles, you know, you can adjust the sensitivity of everything on this drone. The throttle, I have the sensitivity dropped all the way down. Because I got you know, I'm pretty heavy-handed when it comes to stuff like this, and so the lower the sensitivity, the easier it is for me to fly. Now, if I'm outside, I might jump up sensitivity to where it'll take off quicker, respond faster, but inside the house I keep it down so that way I don't do something to damage it. I tried to get some flight time in today. It didn't work too well. We had a lot of wind. Wind was 12 to 15 miles an hour with 20-mile-an-hour gusts. So there was no way I was going to take it out there to try. I will try again tomorrow. Hopefully the wind won't be as bad. Saturday is my son's birthday, so I doubt I'll be doing anything with drone-wise. We're having a big party. So we'll see how that plays out. He pretty much, I had him a couple of drones for his birthday. He pretty much already got them. The funny thing is I got this in because of the size of it. He goes, my drone. So he calls them copters, but so this wasn't meant for him, but of course he flies it just the same as I do, you know. He's still trying to get used to it because it is a whole nother beast compared to what he's used to. You know, the bigger drones that he has flown, like the Aero Acrobat, has auto hover, so it's easy for him to operate. Where his smaller drones don't have the auto hover and, you know, adjustable throttle. They're smaller and they're simpler to operate, and they're not performance based like this one is. And this thing, it just mind balls him. He loves it. The camera, like I said, the camera for 480p is amazing. I mean, this thing takes awesome video. I couldn't believe it. Now, it doesn't take still pictures, but it takes great video. I said, there's nothing I can complain about for 30 bucks. So, go ahead, check them out. If you're interested in one, definitely don't think about it. If you see it and think, I might like that, I want to try it out, don't think about it, just do it. I promise you, this thing you will not regret buying. For the price, you can't pass them up. Hubsan actually has a GPS one that I plan on getting eventually, hopefully very soon, and it's also got FPV, 720p camera, and it's GPS, and it's just a little bit bigger than this one. I want to say it's the 502T, I think. I'm definitely really interested in getting that because of the GPS feature. I want to see how that handles for a smaller drone. You know, I got my ProMark GPS, and I know how GPS works on these bigger drones that don't go fast. You know, they're very heavy drones that are not meant for a lot of performance. They're meant for photography based, pretty much. Well, for a GPS on something like this, I'm definitely interested in seeing how it performs out. So stay tuned for that one. But I can't express enough. If you have 30 bucks and want a drone, get on eBay. Look up the Hubsan H107C. Check them out. Like I said, they got 3 different colors to choose from. I think they got 2 different cameras. I think they do have a 720p edition. I'm not 100%. I could have sworn I seen one, but I'm not. Like I said, don't quote me. But it's definitely worth every dime. Considering it, like I said, it feels like metal. I mean, it don't feel like cheap plastic. I mean, granted, the legs do got a little bit of flex to them, but usually you can take the body of them and push them in. And this one right here, it's got a little bit, but not much. I mean, it feels like metal, but it is like a solid plastic. I mean, it's really more of a, I want to say like a Bondo style feel to it versus the ABS plastic that, like a lot of these cheaper drones are made out of, that are very light. I got, like, the bigger ones back here are actually lighter than this thing is. But if you drop it or slam it into something, they're going to break very, very easily. Where this thing right here, I don't see it doing it. Or it could be the other way around. It could be such a hard plastic that it actually does more damage. I don't know. I don't want to find out. But from what I've seen and what I've done with this thing, I don't think that's the case. But I do promise you, 480p camera is off the chain. I mean, perfect. Best 480p camera I've seen put out. The controls are very easy to operate. Once you get it down, they're very simple. Especially being able to adjust the sensitivity of them. Turn the lights on and off. You got so many options just with the controller. It's insane. The only thing I wish it had was FPV. If it had FPV, that would top it off. I'll take it back. The only other thing besides FPV would be a GPS. I mean, those two things, there would be nothing to reckon this for this size drone. There would be nothing that could touch it as far as performance-wise. Unless you're building race drones or you got the money to invest in something like that, that's different. But for the price, this thing right here, no. I said, if it had FPV, I would probably buy a lot more of these things. So I'm not lying. But even without the FPV, I'm 100% sold on them. I highly recommend them. If you want something just fun to fly, videotape your flights. I mean, it's not really good for a selfie style drone because, no auto hover. Of course it don't take still pictures either. But if you want to like chase kids around or something, it is good for that. The distance on it, I think, is 80 to 100 meters, which is, close to 300 foot, somewhere in that area. So it's got a lot of range for a small drone. I just really can't. I'm mind boggled by this thing. It amazes me. The quality, the performance, everything about this drone is, for the price, you just cannot beat it. So check it out. It's the Hubsan 107C or H107C. Definitely give them a look. Check them out. Don't think about it. If you got $30 to spend, buy it. You will not regret it. I mean, the hardest part is figuring out the control, figuring out what style you want to do, either mode 1 or mode 2. Like I said, I stick with mode 2 for right now. Maybe eventually I'll try mode 1 out just to try it. But other than that, I just stay in it. And then just figuring out the control is the whole deal. Once you got that done, this thing is fun to fly. And I ain't even gotten to expert mode yet. So I can only imagine how much more fun you can have in expert mode with this thing. So I highly recommend it. $30. get on eBay, buy it, or Amazon, wherever you want to buy it from. I don't think it's going to cost more than $40. That's all I can say about it. I mean, there's just nothing else. One of them things that you're almost speechless about, because you can't believe that something like this is so cheap. You would think it would cost a lot more, but that's insane. I'm highly impressed. It's probably the most impressive drone I've actually have in my possession, to be honest with you. I think the ProMark, the ProMark GPS is probably the next one. But like I said, for the money, I mean, there's nothing else I would be willing to spend the money on other than I'd buy more of these just to give for gifts. That's how good they are. So definitely check it out. Other than that, after this, I also include video of it flying. I posted a video earlier of a new head strap I got. Thanks, Ken. Again. But I'm going to try to use that when I do the flight, and also include the onboard footage with that flight as well. So we're going to give it a try. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to get it knocked out. Just depends on the wind. I know Saturday we're supposed to get storms in as well too, so I'm going to see how things work out. And that's probably where all this wind's coming from, is that storm front coming in. And it sucks. But other than that, that's all I got. Definitely like, subscribe to the video, share the videos if you like what I do. I know it isn't much right now, but I'm trying my best to get more out there. Everything that's been going on here lately, it's been chaotic, but things are starting to slowly calm down. I even ordered my other set of tires tonight for my car, so hopefully next weekend I'll be able to get my rims on my car. I got to put a new rack and pinion, new camber kits. I got a bunch of stuff I still got to do to it as well. But hopefully by next weekend I should have it up and going and get some stuff posted about that as well. She ain't much to look at, but I love the way it drives. I can't help it. I think that's pretty much it for today. So this is Ryan Knights, and this is the Hubsan 107C, $30. Jump on it before people get forward. They figure out, oh, we got something good here, let's bump the price up to $100. Doubt that's gonna happen, but it can. So Ryan Knights, y'all stay out there flying high, be safe, and I'll see y'all later. Ryan Knights here. I got the Hubsan H107. I'm gonna see how well it flies outside, and see what we can get done with it. See, it's that way I can show you the video quality and how well it flies. Let's get it started. Whoa. Oh, watch out! Oh no! Alright, we'll turn the video on. Hit that little button there. There it goes. Alright, we got video on. There we go.
Papa needs you.
Oh.
Come on. Follow me.
There we go. I got it. It's had a little too high. Up, up, up.
Follow me, Dada.
What's up, bud? I tell you, Cal, we do got some wind. So every time I turn around, that's how come it's going so fast. Back around. Uh-oh. Here it comes. So that's how like now that headless mode comes into play. Come here, Grayson. What's up? So I wish it would do flips, but it won't do no flips. Oh. Uh-oh. It lost control. Oh, what happened there? That concludes our flight time for today. Until I can find another blade for it. I don't know where it went to. So we'll see if I can find it, hopefully. Cause that might have been why it fell. This guy, the blade might have flew off of it. It's the only thing I hate about press-on blades. But oh well, we'll figure it out. But anyways, just try to show y'all what it can do. And show you how it flew, show you the camera and all that good stuff. But that's pretty much it for today. I'll give you my final review here in a little bit. Alright, as you've seen the flight time with this, it's the Hubsan H107C. The flight that I did was very windy, about 15 miles an hour. And this thing, I didn't have to go into expert mode. I just flew it straight in normal mode, and it handled every bit of it. It was a little shaky, as you can tell by the video from the onboard camera. You know, it was real shaky, but that's because of the wind. So, do I recommend it? 100%. I love this thing. I mean, there's only two things that I could think that'd make this better: FPV and screw-on propellers instead of pop-ons, because I keep losing them. So, besides that, this thing is awesome. I mean, the camera, it's only 480p, but it beats 720s all day long. I mean, most of my cameras that have 720 can't touch this. I mean, I got a couple that have 1080 HDs that do better than this, but you know, that's because you can get up to 1080 on. But anything I got that's 720 or below, don't touch this. The camera on this, and this is only a 480p. So I highly recommend it. If there was a way to do FPV on it, I mean, this thing would be just awesome. But like I said, beginners, I don't highly recommend. If you are a beginner, definitely read the book. Definitely stay in normal mode for a while till you get used to it. Don't rush to jump in, try and do flips and stuff like that, because you'll damage it. It's real easy to do. Intermediate expert, definitely, for 100% on this thing. If you haven't flown the H107 yet, grab one. They're less than $40 on eBay, and you won't be disappointed, I promise. But this is Ryan Knights, and I'll see y'all later.